All right, I'm going to real quick. I'm just going to say quickly, and just I'll open it up. I've never been as conflicted walking into this room because I feel like Jekyll and Hyde. There's a side of me that is furious, and then there's another side that has great admiration for what I saw. So I'm really torn right now about how to feel. So, any
Question:
questions?
Is that a microcosm of the season? Because you had the 4-0 start to the Pac-12, you have the losing streak. You kind of had an up and down characteristic.
Yeah, it's. But for me to get to the point that I'm going to the bench to the degree I did in the second half, kind of tells you all that you need to know about how furious one could get to get to that point. But then after that, it's like we flipped the switch, and that second unit came in, and they got stops, and we were able to put the ball, and it felt like we were stuck on 24 forever. I don't know how long it was, but it was a long time. And once we were able to break through that hurdle, then that group energized everything that we did the rest of the way, and that's where the admiration part sets in because we sat down and guarded, we defended with effort, we created turnovers, we hit big shots, that game had no business going to overtime the way we played for 25 minutes, but somehow we were there.
Was that as disappointed as you've been with the effort this season?
I would say in terms of just as flat and as lifeless as we were across the board that I've watched and for the first 25, well, not really 25 minutes, like 23 minutes, I guess. And then once I went to the bench and got the second unit in there, everything kind of changed the rest of the way.
You lit in, I guess it was a timeout, and you were about as animated as I think I've ever seen you in a huddle there at one point. Um, do you remember ever being that upset with your team?
No. I mean, I don't want to go into a lot of detail because I don't really, remember a whole lot of that. But it was, sometimes you just can't wait to get them there so that you could express how you feel.
Coach, what was the message at halftime?
That there weren't a lot of adjustments that I can make or that we can make right now. That where the game was, I believe it was 21 points. We had another collapse late in the half. So it was about like, what do you want to look like here in the second half?
What happened in the first half of things really snowballed in that period?
I mean, like I said, we couldn't score. We were stuck on 24. We had missed a bunch of shots. We turned the ball over, and we didn't play any defense. So it was a combination of all those things.
So why do you think that the guys responded beyond just kind of giving it to them?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, did you test their character, or did you say something about this kind of what people were seeing in the arena, or?
I mean, I don't know what goes on in their minds, and what is going to put them over the edge to try and make a change and do something different. But I've never. The only game that's close to this was Oregon in terms of at Oregon, just where we were really good and really bad, and here it is again.
Is that the difficulty of it, that you don't know what buttons will work when you push them, and how, or any of those things?
Yeah, I mean I felt pretty helpless for a lot of for like I said, that first 23 minutes. I didn't think there were a lot of answers out there.
You made a lot of free throws in the game. Team, I think, missed 5 free throws on the stretch in the last minute, and before that, only maybe 2 or 3 in the game. What did you make kind of how they came back and then not being able to get over the hump there?
I mean, it's always good that if you can step up in those moments and make them. I mean, credit to the kid, to the kid Mia, for all his struggles at the line tonight. He, when the game was on the line and it was tied, he went up and made both free throws. So those are important. But I'm a believer that there's no like singular play that is going to determine why you win or lose a game. I think our game, we deserved to lose because of the first 23 minutes of the game, and then somehow we had a chance to win, but we didn't make the shots we needed to make. That's why like Phillips is distraught in the locker room right now. He is, but he competes and he works at it, and it's he had a chance, but it's not his fault either. And we were collectively just, and that's my fault, because if I can't get them motivated to play, when we're playing a game on ESPN and it's a big good crowd and stuff, then it's my fault. So I mean I'm the one who's responsible. I have to answer to that. I'm not getting through to the team.
Coach,
And it's,
how do you adjust and get your team ready for overtime?
well, we talked about us being 0-0 in overtimes this year, and this was the one that we're going to win. And there was a lot of like renewed life in the huddle, and I thought we played well in overtime. I don't think we were really outplayed. Again, it was unfortunate, Frankie's fifth foul, to lose a guy that had really gotten it going offensively in the second half the way he did. To lose him early in overtime, probably didn't help us.
Can you talk about Frankie? Obviously, the third steal he had to break the record was a huge in the flow of the game, and he made some clutch shots. So he just seemed to do it all for you.
Yeah, I think the world of Frankie. He's in a very select company with me in regards to how I view him and what I think of him. But for us to win any games the rest of the way, he's got to play better, and he's got to lead our team better. And in the first part of that game, he can't allow what happened again. And that's a big responsibility to take on. It's not easy. You're going to have to go outside of yourself and do more than just play and worry about your own game. You're in charge of whether we're ready to play or not. And so he needs to have do better in that first 23 minutes. He needs to set the tone all the time. If he doesn't, then we're going to have very little chance to win much going forward here.
Coach, so it seemed like when you were hitting shots in the second half, it really fed into the energy defensively, especially. So how much does the offense need to play well to feed into the defense?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was more when we went to the second unit, they came out and they were scrappy, and we started getting stops. And then the crowd appreciated that they were noticeably playing harder than the group that was in there before. And that's what they were looking for. Like, our crowd is not that demanding. They ask for you to give maximum effort. And if they see you giving maximum effort, then they're not going to have a problem with you. And I think they noticed that second unit was out there fighting and battling. And that was really the difference. I mean, the shots going in, sure. I mean, that's always naturally going to, encourage someone, boost someone's confidence, have them play harder. But it was more of, we were just too casual out there, lackadaisical. There was no urgency for 23 minutes, and it cost us.
Can you talk about the last play? Obviously, you went to, I guess, Sean just because of the size advantage, but was that the shot you wanted?
Yeah, it's one of our late clock deals, and it was we wanted to get him the ball. That was a high percentage area. Thought Jemiah threw a good pass. Adam set a good screen. You couldn't ask for anything more.
Did you have a chance to talk to Sean yet?
I did. He felt awful. He was very upset. I feel bad for him. I feel terrible for him because he desperately wanted to make the shot, and he's a young player, and it hurts. I know it means a lot to him. So
Coach, you mentioned the second unit you put in there and how they were scrappy and brought energy back in the game. Was that the reason you put them in there, to just get some different energy out there?
That, and just furious with the group that started. It was again, there was no unity to that group. There was we had no backbone for those few minutes. Once the game got away from us, we just allowed it to happen, and I had no choice.
Coach, how how do you get this team reset for Washington State in 48 hours?
I'm trying to process this right now, and then just watch Washington State. They're playing Arizona right now, so get to see what they look like. Get the guys in, try and work on their psyche, their spirits, make sure that they're not defeated from losing the way that we did after battling all the way back and coming up short. So that's another psychological hurdle to overcome. Like we had a psychological setback on Saturday, and we got a different type of setback today. So I'm just going to have to read the room. I'm going to have to see what, talk to the leaders on the team, watch some of the negative stuff that happened tonight to whereas we were down 25 points in the second half, and then try and figure out how to move on for Saturday.
Coach, how do you feel like Marlins helped initiate that second half spark?
Really happy for that kid. He's been he's a great kid, nice kid. He just he's had a hard time this year getting comfortable, getting into a rhythm, making shots for us. I always thought he could shoot the ball, make shots, and he gave us a huge lift.
How much do you think that with the kind of the game ending the way it did, that it might hurt right now, but this could bring this team together and maybe spark a run at the end of the season?
That's just hard to tell at this point. It's just really, when you lose like you did on Saturday and then you lose like this, after making such a furious comeback and being right there and having a chance and then not getting it done, it's just got to see, how, what it means to the guys tomorrow, what Saturday's going to mean, try and get a good feel for it, and get ready for the next one.
You're such a passionate person. What's it like kind of having to try to jumpstart these guys the way that you have at various points of this season and just all the stuff that you've gone through?
So I think that they're really good kids. Like I never worry about these kids like off the court, and they're, we have not been able to get on the same page consistently for the course the entirety of the season. We'll do it on different occasions. We're not talented enough to not be completely together and play together and be ready to play and play with tremendous effort, and those things were missing, for that 23 minutes or whatever it was. And it's been like that most of the year. We've had some games where we've all played together. We played close to a 40-minute game, and we've had pretty good results. And wow, I can't imagine what it's like to be on a team that's won like a handful of games though right now. For us to be sitting one game under 500, it feels like we've only won like 3 games this year. That's how I feel about where the season is right now.